Like, I worked out at the original gym, the Golds in
Yeah,
Venice.
yeah, gold.
It's
Yep.
like all kinds of people in there. And every time I saw Ted Danson in there, he was working out with a collared shirt on and jeans. Every time, like clockwork.
Ted Danson. Ted, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, but he's like 70 years old, so it's like I have this shirt on, I have these pants on. They're gonna be dirty by the day's end. I work out in them, go home and shower, and that's it. I don't have to look good for anybody.
I guess
Beyond
not.
that, it's like you got to look good to work out. Come on.
Well, certain places actually people do.
For
That's their
what?
thing. One of those guys. He's got to have the newest shoes, the newest tank top.
What? What for?
That's cold. That's how he rolls.
Now
no,
you're bearing
man. I don't
coal.
work out in a
Now you're
tank
bearing
top. What are you
coal.
talking about?
Malik, I didn't know you were that guy. You're that guy.
What
Malik's a
guy?
sneaky hater.
Yeah, you just bury people when they turn their cheek. You bury them.
Malik's the dude that's hating in the bushes with binoculars.
That's it. He's that guy.
Oh,
I've never been to that gold gym. I wanted to go, but then because Heath Evans was always like, yeah, man, I get up and go and work out there all the time. I'm like, I'm not trying to work out at 5 a.m, dog. Like, no,
yeah,
I'm
I
good
saw
on
you.
that.
Well, I would go at 6:30, and I would see Heath there a lot.
Yeah, and plus, I
Yeah.
feel like, man, like I feel like I put up some pretty solid weight, but I feel like there, it's like any kind of weight you put up is extremely insignificant.
People are. I mean, there's a lot of professionals. I mean, you see Schwarzenegger every
Right.
morning, right? I mean,
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are
Right.
back in the Midwest, okay? So just work out and don't care who
hey,
you're seeing, and then
I
take
get
a
my
nice
swole on
shower.
at the Century LA Fitness, Bruce, at the Century
That's
City
awesome. That's awesome.
at Six Corners. It used to be Bally's. I keep it traditional.
Who do you see?
I am, yeah.
we see you,
I
Bruce,
remember
in the collared shirt.
I'm streaming. I just put
the only person, Bruce, I ever saw at that gym before I ever had a job on TV is I saw Art Norman at the gym, and I was like, oh my God, it's Art Norman. And like now, Art Norman, he's one of my guys.
consistent. There's just a little. He does look a little breakup around his head. Perfect. Thank you. Stand by.
Sean Marshall, what's up, dude?
Hey, Sean, we cannot hear you. Can you sign back out and sign back in real quick? That might fix your audio issue. All right, just that's better.
Have you guys been seeing the hilarious and borderline outrageous Isaiah Thomas takes on Twitter? Like all the Pistons fans, like, yeah, Isaiah beat Mike 3-1, blah blah blah. I'm like, then why didn't you guys win more championships? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are we hanging our hats on Eastern Conference Finals? Is that what we're doing here?
One, two, three.
I see it too much.
Got you now, Sean.
You
Thanks.
hearing that?
You got me? Okay, good.
They only won
Yeah,
because the NBA had new rules those years. They allowed them to just fall and get away with it.
Who only
Tilt
won
down a
because of the
touch,
rules?
Sean, if you can.
Pistons.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Tell me when there.
They
little
only
more if
won
you
because
can.
they were allowed to cheat.
More than that?
They played a little. I mean, they played hard.
That's good right there if it
I'm not
stays
taking
there.
anything away
Let's
from
see.
them. They were
They played
I got
hard,
it,
but
yeah.
their
It's on
fouls,
tripod.
the fouls were
That's perfect.
ignored
Okay.
in main time. You know, the end of the second, the end of the fourth quarter, they were allowed to foul and get away with it.
Yeah.
all right, let's
You see all
let's
kinds
go
of.
to the show. Okay, guys, you got me, Mark Char.
I got you, Malik. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mike? You good?
I'm doing good. Is this my chair squeaking a little bit? Can y'all hear that right there?
A little put a little spit on it. A little WD-40.
I do not hear that on my end. You're all.
I'll just be a statue. All right.
Right.
Hope you guys saw my my trivia victory this week. I had a good time doing that.
How was that?
Who'd you
I'm still
beat?
waiting. I'm still waiting to get a call. Haven't been invited on yet.
Who'd
Me
you
and
beat, Sean?
Jason Hamill. Me and Jason Hamill.
Oh well, he had no
Cubbies
chance
got
with your Cub history knowledge. He had no chance.
Yeah, that big come from behind Cubs Jeopardy a couple of years ago. Cubs convention came to
go.
play, baby.
Nice.
I gave him a chance too. I let him back in. I only bid 1 run. Let him try to go for the tie.
What was the hardest question?
The last question: Who was the batter who made the final out for the Indians? What do you got, Bruce? Tony
Geyer. No. The
Martinez.
What's his name? Martinez? Yeah.
You got it.
It's like ground ball to Chris
I
Bryant.
have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He was the only guy left. That was the only guy left that Tito had.
Yep. We both got it wrong. Hamill says when he jumped the fence, he pretty much fell on his face on the celebration. Remember when Dempster, Bruce? Do you remember that?
Dempster did what?
I think he damaged his toe or broke his toe jumping the fence to celebrate.
Yeah.
That was. Remember that? Yeah.
That was.
You got to watch
All right,
out for
guys.
those
So
fences.
we're going to get going here shortly. So for the A block here, Cole's going to introduce everybody. Then he's going to tee up our story. Looks like there's some news in regards to, MLB reportedly finalizing their economic proposal today. So he'll tee up that story with a twist towards the end, talking about how, our Miller Lite refreshing take is that we're starting to see some either franchises or colleges, universities, whatever, just start to be able to plan or start to make plans to have small amounts of fans within the stadium for their games. So, Cole's going to tee you guys up, and we'll go with you, Sean, first. We'll go Sean, Tony, and then Bruce. And we'll just tee you guys up on should teams, should it be an individual team's choice where they're allowed to, make some kind of plan where they're allowed to bring fans in. So it's just not a unilateral decision that, no fans throughout baseball, for this season. So we'll have that discussion right here. So we got about 6 minutes to chat. So probably get to each of you guys at least twice. Cole, maybe with a repeat at some point.
Yep.
Real quick, are you guys seeing my message? Just going to say hi. Are you guys seeing that?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, cool. So, Kevin, whenever you're ready, just give me a single and we'll go.
Stand by.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yes, ma'am. All right, I just tweaked full screen. Keep me. Three, two. Stand by. That looks solid on the stream. It's gonna break up a little in bit. In the box there. Hey, Cole, to confirm, you don't have a window open or anything, right? No draft coming in your
Nope,
room?
same as always. Nope.
All right, cool. Thanks. Hey, Cole, real quick, can you log out and log back in? I think that might fix your green screen here. Stand by.
Okay, no doubt.
Thanks.
Is better?
Got me here?
Yep, that's better.
So far, yeah. Let's see if it holds up here. The green light here.
My wife
All
and
right,
daughter
Malik,
trying to
I'm ready.
go get a dog today.
All right, Cole. You
Yep.
all set?
You got it.
All right, guys. Good energy here. Here we go, Cole. I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's Friday, and this is Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. And as always, I'm Cole Wright back again. Now, today on the show, J.A. Adonde, he's going to stop by. He's going to discuss Michael Jordan leaving the NBA after 3 championships to go play baseball. Plus, he'll discuss the impact that the COVID-19 shoot. We'll start one more time. Sorry, guys.
Okay, all good. Here we go.
I'll count us in. Yep.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Hey there, gang. It's Friday, and welcome to another edition of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. I'm Cole Wright back again, and on today's episode, J.A. Adonde. He's going to stop by to let us know what it was like covering Michael Jordan and what it was like when he stepped away to go play Major League Baseball. Plus, he'll touch on the impact that the COVID-19 shutdown has had on the MLB. We can't talk about any of that until we meet our panelists. They're all present and accounted for. It's Bruce Levine, it's Sean Marshall, it's Tony Andracki, and guys, we're headed right towards that first real weekend of the summer. What goes better than Memorial Day and an ice cold Miller Lite than a Miller Lite refreshing take of the day? And I'm going to get to this right off the top because when it comes to baseball getting back to normalcy, my question to you is that Major League Baseball should allow teams at their own discretion to have fans in the stands. Sean, what do you think? Fans or no?
I mean, I think everyone would love to see fans, the players in particular, the owners, of course, get a little revenue stream coming back to kind of cut some of those losses. But it's a lot of uncertainty. You know, with fans comes a lot of preparation by the ballpark employees to sanitize the stadium. Where to put these people? Are they going to want concessions? Are we ordering these concessions from our seats? There's a lot of different things going on here. Yes, I think as a ball player myself, I want these players to have fans, create the energy, create the fun environment that Wrigley Field in particular can bring to these players. But you know, there's a lot of uncertainty still. The testing, we'll see how it goes. But I see some preliminary talks. Mostly, particularly the Miami Dolphins are coming through, trying to get a plan in place. But you know, it's about keeping the separation. We want to stop this virus. We won't do anything that we can do to spread it even more or cause more damage to anybody. So safety first, that's number one concern. So hopefully we'll err on the side of safety when it comes to getting fans back in our stadiums.
Yeah, I agree, Sean. I mean, I think it would be good for everybody. Players want fans there cheering, even if it's only 10,000 or 1,000 would obviously be preferable to an empty, quiet stadium. But I I don't know how exactly they would work on the entrances and, like you mentioned, concessions, and how is everybody going to walk through the building just to get to their seats, even if they're able to be spaced apart, 2, 3, 4 seats, however it is. And even with wearing masks and so on, I'm not quite sure how the logistics of it all would work. But I think MLB should do everything they can to try to empower their teams to make this a reality.
Well, there's a number of questions you have to answer first. And first, you follow the science and medicine and the spacing that you're going to need for the players in the stands when they're not playing, when they are playing. They won't be in a dugout. They'll be spaced out in the stands. So that's a logistics nightmare with fans in the park. And the risk, the number one risk, other than the health issue, which is obviously number 1, 2, and 3, is alienating fans. So who do you allow into the ballpark? Your season ticket holders have 4 tickets, but they have to sit 3 or 4 seats apart. How do you accomplish that? And more importantly, how many fans will be interested in going, especially initially, without having the science to back up what is going to occur? So there's a lot of moving parts to this. I'm in agreement with everybody. We want fans in the ballpark when it's comfortable, when it's safe, when it makes sense logistically.
All right, let's take Wrigley Field out of the equation, Sean, because what about Wrigleyville, the surrounding neighborhood? We know that each and every single game day, it's a hive of activity. So what do you think? What precautions need to be taken in order to get fans at least in the vicinity of the ballpark?
Well, we know our Cubs fans, and we have the most diehard fans, and they're going to be chomping at the bit to get as close to that stadium as physically possible. That means an extra flow of patrons to our restaurants, our bars. So these owners of these restaurants and bars are going to also have to take into consideration the high sanitation needed, the social distancing needed to keep these sport hungry fans, especially our Chicago fans, from exacerbating the problem. So the sanitization, temperature checks, I'm sure it's going to be happening at every establishment around here. I wish we were a little bit more ahead of the curve as far as our phases are and have a little bit better chance of this happening sooner. But in the grand scheme of things, if everybody's doing their part and the fans are smart, especially outside the stadium, we can bring some great energy. Whether the fans are in the stadium or not, we'll bring some great energy to Wrigleyville.
You guys ever tried drinking a beer with a mask on? I mean, it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to be tough. We're going to have built-in straws for the mask. And I'm not trying to make light of a situation that's very, very dramatic and certainly a challenge to all of us in our way of life. But, getting into a bar and drinking, I want those bars and those neighborhood places to be able to be sustained and make money like the next guy. But I don't know what game day will look like right now. I have no idea, no concept of the idea of beer drinking, uh, groups of people in bars being allowed 4, 8, 12, 15, 20 at a time. It's a can of worms, and I don't envy the job that our mayor has to try to accomplish over the next couple of months to keep businesses open, keep people healthy, and get us back into the ballparks and the stadiums we want to go to.
Yeah, Bruce, I mean, drinking a beer but eating a hot dog would be difficult with a mask on or anything else from the concession line. But I think back to what you were saying too earlier about how if fans are going to be in the stands, players might be as well. So then is there extra security that you would have to keep the fans away from the players? And then what happens if it becomes a risk or if there's some sort of second wave that comes with the virus? Does that mean then that you pull back and you allow fewer fans in, or you have to limit fans entirely after having done so for the first 20, 30 games, whatever it is? That would be another really huge kick to the gut. So it's a very, very difficult, sensitive subject. I'm not sure how they're going to let it all play out. I mean, I think first and foremost, we got to get baseball back first and then figure out what to do with the fans. But any possible way you can get even 1,000 people in the stadium, I would be all for it.
Yeah, Tony, good point. You don't want to put the cart before the horse because we know the season, it could be coming sooner rather than later, and hopefully it is sooner. Now, still more to get to right here on Cubs 360, like what could have been, what kind of effect would Michael Jordan have had on Major League Baseball? Jay Adonde, he's going to stop by to lend his thoughts. That's next right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. My pen just catapulted in the air right there. Went airborne.
Hey, Cole, hey, can you give me a single of Cole? Cole, I think you missed something. Are you in the live Google Doc? You missed the VO leading up to that, so I just want to have you read that off camera.
Oh, okay.
You see it? Because
No, I'm not in there right now.
Cubs fan
Let's see.
VO.
Let's see. I'm reopening it right now.
Okay.
It's rendering. There's like a
Yeah. No,
takes a minute to
whenever.
open it. No doubt. Close it and try to reopen it. That'll be quicker.
So if you could just read that.
Oh,
The MLB
okay.
owner.
Yeah.
Read
When
that.
I went through and banged it out, my bad. That
It's
wasn't
okay.
there. Okay.
So, yeah, it was an ad.
So I had
It's
the
okay.
way.
I'm going to count
Okay.
you in because I need to make sure this is all good. Okay, you
Okay.
ready?
Well, I'll
3.
get like that little line getting into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just coming in hot headed in the first real weekend of the summer.
Okay, all good. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, we're coming in hot, headed into that first real weekend of the summer, and the Major League Baseball owners are reportedly finalizing their economic proposal to the Players Association, and they're doing so today. Now, with Major League Baseball shut down for more than 2 months, the two sides are still negotiating the terms of the return to play proposal. Now, it is possible that the entire season could be played without fans, and one projection estimates that it could cost Major League teams $640,000 per game with an empty stadium. Now, the Cubs, they receive about 70% of the revenue from fans in attendance.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're moving on to the C block. So we did a Don Day
You want
on
to read
tape.
the BTs? We got the BTs.
Yeah. I just want to get these guys set up for the season, then I'll have you read that.
No doubt.
But
You got it.
for the C's, you guys, we're going to talk a little bit about this is Pryor's debut to playing with the Cubs. So we're going to have a conversation about where should the premium be when you're drafting players? Should it be on everyday players or should it be on arms? So Cole's going to set you guys up for that conversation. Right now, he's just got to read a 20-second thing, and then we'll get into that segment. So for that segment, we'll start with Sean again, and then we'll go Sean, Bruce, Tony. Kevin, can you give me a Cole single? Thank you. So this is your Jerry Sloan. You're off of this, and then you're reading your bump, correct?
You got it.
Okay. All right. Here we go, Cole. 3, 2, 1.
Well, bringing you some sad news today because we need to pay tribute to Basketball Hall of Famer Jerry Sloan, who passed at 78 years old due to complications from Parkinson's disease. Sloan played for the Bulls for 10 years and later became an assistant for the squad and then, of course, the head coach for 3 seasons. Sloan also leading the Jazz to back-to-back NBA Finals appearances, falling both times to Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Jerry Sloan, rest in peace. Now, still to come right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. Mark Pryor hasn't played in a major league game in close to 14 years. So what kind of lessons have teams learned from his career? We're going to dive in next right here. You're watching Cubs 360.
Great. All right, guys. So here we go to C block. So Cole, you're reacting off of the prior in bump of his debut start, and then you're reading that full screen, and then you're going to Sean, Bruce, and then Tony.
Yep.
Okay, guys. We have about 4 minutes for this segment. Let me know when you're ready, Cole. You can start on the single. Thank you, Kevin.
Yep. Let me see.
You should just be reading like his
Yep, the
his
full
stat.
screen MLB debut.
Yep.
18 years ago to the day.
Yep. And then, like I said, you're going to Sean first after it.
Sure.
Okay. Here we go.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, we continue to roll here on Cubs 360, and it was 18 years ago to the day when Mark Pryor made his major league debut with the Cubs. Get this, he was filthy. He struck out 10 over 6 frames in the Cubs' 7-4 win over those Pittsburgh Pirates, but Pryor would never be the same again. Now back here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, the gang's all here. It's Bruce, it's Sean, it's Tony, and guys, we know that Mark Pryor went number 2 overall back in 2001. However, between 2002 to 07, well, he was deactivated 9 times. So, Sean, when you take a look at the draft process and what teams have learned or may have not learned since that time, do you think they now know to use those high draft picks on position players as opposed to pitchers?
I don't really know how the numbers make up. I don't know if a position player has a more sustained major league career versus a pitcher. I don't know how the numbers break down. But in my personal opinion, I played with a man named Greg Maddux in 2006. And we sat down right in the beginning of April when we looked at starting rotations and bullpen depth right in the beginning of the year. And Greg would say, this team is going to be good. This team won't be as good. This team will be as good. So my emphasis as a pitcher myself is on pitching. I think that good defense can neutralize good offense. And I think that good pitching wins championships. So if I was a GM and I had an emphasis to pick a few more established pitchers, I prefer college players versus high school players from a maturity standpoint. Yep. But I lean towards the pitching aspect and drafting these players early in the draft.
You know, it depends on your organization, your definition of how you want to get to championships. I mean, you look at the early level of the Cleveland Indians back in the 90s, and they had Jim Thome, and they had Bell, and they had all those great players like Lofton, everybody coming up that was drafted, and they signed them and kept them. And they went to World Series a couple times, almost won a championship, but they were a dominant team in the 90s. You look at the Chicago Cubs and how they were built in the mid 2015 and on. You look at what they did. You know, they went and they got Bryant. They went and they got Schwarber. They went and they got Happ. So they built on position players and signed all their pitchers and won a championship and were a dominant team that way. So it depends which way you want to roll. There's no right way or wrong way. But, you know, in the case of Pryor, Joe Mauer went before him. He had a great career. You couldn't be wrong with that pick. In the case of Bryant in 2013, he was the number 2 pick, the number 1 guy, you know, Mark Appel. He never made it. So, I mean, you have a lot of different ways to look at this. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. You have to go by your gut and what your scouts tell you and what your metrics department tells you going into that draft.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Bruce, it obviously worked out for the Cubs and the way Theo Epstein built this Cubs team. But I think it's all about risk versus reward. I mean, you can help win championships with multiple first-round picks year after year, but you can certainly lose championships as well and put yourself in a hole if you keep drafting guys that keep getting injured. And you never really know who's going to get injured. I mean, nobody thought Mark Pryor, with his polished mechanics coming out of college, was going to have the career he had where he got injured as much as he did. But I think just the fact that pitchers do get injured more than hitters, you're always one pitch away from a potential serious elbow or shoulder injury or anything else. There's more risk inherent in pitchers versus polished position players, especially guys coming out of college.
Yeah, well, Tony, I think with the way that we see the pitcher's pay scale escalating, they may continue to take those hurlers in the first few early rounds. We will see how things unfold. We will continue to stick and move right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, because when you talk about Mark Pryor, you can't forget his partner in crime. And you can't mention Pryor without talking about Kerry Wood, the former NL Rookie of the Year. He chats about his injury issues and historic career on off the mound. He's joining our guy Ryan Dempster, 8 o'clock Central Time, and former Cubs bench coach Alan Trammell. He's a Hall of Famer. He's going to join Demp as well. You won't want to miss a single second. Now, still to come right here on Cubs 360, no one has hit 400 in close to 80 years. So could anyone do it in a shortened season this year in 2020? We'll give you our picks to click when Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, bounces back. Stay put.
Picks to click, huh? Hawk.
I didn't mean it like that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Good job, you guys. That was good. I like the bringing up the college arms there, Sean. Good stuff. So for this segment, we'll just go back down the line. We'll go Tony first, Sean, and then Bruce. So you guys will each have about 20 seconds to tell us who you think could hit 400 if they do play an 80-game shortened season. So we'll start with Tony, then we'll go Sean, and then we'll end on Bruce.
Have you guys already talked about who you all picked to do this?
No.
Tony, who are you going to go with? I don't want to be ready to.
Jeff McNeil.
We could say something. I was going to say either Yelich or DJ LeMahieu.
Great.
That's a good choice.
Oh, wow. Who are you going to go with, Bruce? You want to take
good.
Yelich?
You'll find out in about 2 minutes.
Okay. I don't want to step on your feet.
I told you Bruce was being a curmudgeon today.
I liked the show yesterday. I was laughing hard. I was listening to it. I was driving. I ended up American Idol last night.
Right.
That was
Hey,
great.
Cole, can you get into this kind of tight? We're a little bit heavy here.
That's cool.
Okay. All right, Kevin. Yep, 4 shots, cool. And then again, it's going to be right down the line, reverse Tony, Sean, and then Bruce. You guys all good? Here
Tony,
we go.
Sean, Bruce.
Yep.
Yep.
Here we go, guys. Last block, good energy. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, packing things up here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. Bruce, Sean, and Tony back again. And guys, no player has hit 400 or better since Ted Williams back in 1941. We know he had a doubleheader, went 6 for 8 in that double dip, and the rest is history. 406 in the books. Now, in this shortened season this year in 2020, can anyone swing at that 400 clip? Tony, what do you say?
I don't know, but if a guy's going to do it, it's going to be a guy that puts the ball in play a ton, like Jeff McNeil from the Mets, a guy who doesn't strike out much, has the ability to get that BABIP luck on his side and maybe push the 400 mark.
I had a couple of guys came to mind. Even though he's a Brewer, Christian Yelich, he just seems to be improving every year. I mean, he was third in batting average in 18, second in batting average last year. And on the American League side, a long lost Cub, DJ LeMahieu was picked back in 09, and he's improved every year. So, I mean, he gets hits. These guys keep hitting and hitting. So in a shortened season, they start out hot, they got a chance.
Luck might have something to do with it, but in a shortened season, you might be able to do it just like Sean said. I pick nobody because nobody has even come close. The last guy to hit even 379 was Larry Walker in 1997. This last year, Tim Anderson, 336, led all of baseball. That's about 64 points short, knowing that my Chicago public school math is still pretty good. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So in a shortened season, you might have the luck of the draw, but I'm going with nobody on that one, Cole.
Yeah, Tim Anderson, 336 for the season. Cody Bellinger, he was 336 at the break. So I'm with you, Bruce. I don't think anyone is going to challenge that 400 mark, or even Tony Gwynn's 394 that we saw once upon a time. Now, make a note, because Cubs 360, the best of, it's coming your way Saturday at 10:30. That's something that you won't want to miss. So until then, for everybody at Marquee Sports Network, including Bruce, Sean, and Tony, I'm Cole Wright. Everybody out there, enjoy your holiday weekend. We'll see you Monday.
All right, we're clear, guys. Good stuff. I just need Cole to stick around to do some best of raps. But
All
the
right,
rest of you
guys,
guys have
great holiday.
really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Nice
Thank
work,
you.
guys.
Talk to you Tuesday, guys.
Weekend.
Enjoy.
Bruce, do your laundry.
Not till I work out.
Nice.
See you
How
guys.
about Nomar 389 at the break in 2000?
No, Patrick, I'm making the exact number in 2%.
Hello, everybody. Hey, who's that?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, Mike, we're gonna do real quick if you want to join us after.
Just want to let you know. Everybody.
Thanks, you too. Thank you.
What's up?
All right, you got your stuff, Cole?
Yeah, the best of show.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, hold on, just let me get my clock and
I
clear.
like that red background, man. That red background is slick.
Yeah, it's nice.
Maybe it's just because. Isn't it sweet though?
Oh, you know what? Let's do the promos first. Good call, Suzanne. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's do the promos.
Just let me know which one you want to start with.
You can use it. You can use the red for the promos, or no? You need the other background.
Is there two of them? Is there how many? Is
There's
there two
actually
of them or three of them? 'Cause I got two different.
you got my email.
Yeah, I got the ones from Notch too. I got two of them.
No, just you go by my email because my email has everything in there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, come up and Cubs 360% on Miller Lite. How could Michael Jordan have changed baseball? Jay Adonde, he lets us know and shoot MLB. We're doing generic, no, not saying any times though.
Correct.
Okay. Just Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite weekdays right here on Marquee Sports Network.
Correct.
You got it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Let me knock this out real quick for ya. All right.
Cole, can you slide a touch to your left, just with the slab? I just want to.
Nope.
All right, cool. All right. That's good. Perfect. Right there. Thanks.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, coming up right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. How could Michael Jordan have changed baseball? J.A. Adonde, he stops by. He lets us know. And this season, should Major League Baseball have limited fans in attendance? That and much, much more coming your way on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, weeknights right here on Marquee Sports Network.
Okay, ready? Next one.
For the next one? Yeah, hold on.
Yep.
Let me see. All right.
Okay. There you go. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, what was that? Was that me?
No, that was. It
Was it?
might have
Oh,
been. Did you hear my email? Maybe that's what you heard.
okay.
Here,
All
yep.
right.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, Cubs fans, stay tuned because after the game, Michael Wilbon from ESPN, he's going to join Michael Kim on the stadium. They'll discuss all things Cubs, of course, and Jay Adonde. He's going to stop by right after that with us on Cubs 360 to discuss all things The Last Dance and Major League Baseball.
Are we doing this slab or this slab for this one? Still the JA one?
Yep. No. Wilbon and Jay. That was the one from that we just did.
Me.
This is the Friday one.
We're going fontless here. Thanks.
Yeah, just name Cole. Just name Cole. Here we go.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, Cubs fans, stay tuned because after the game, ESPN's Michael Wilbon, he's going to join Michael Kim on the stadium. That's at 7 o'clock. And then at 7:30, right after, J.A. Adonde. He stops by Cubs 360 to talk all things Major League Baseball. Stick around.
That works like that, Kevin. Leaving it up.
Yeah,
We're going to cover it. Great. All right, one more.
This is the Monday one, Malik?
Yes.
You got it.
This font right here, right? Should every MLB team play Memorial Day? You see that, Nacho? Cool.
I see. Yep, you're good. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Good. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Cubs fans, stick around because after the game, the best of the stadium is coming your way. That's at 7, and then at 7:30, it's Cubs 360. We'll discuss the best teams and best players in all the game. Don't miss out.
Actually, let's do that again. Kevin, just name them. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Cubs fans, stick around because after the game, the best of the stadium is coming your way. That's at 7 o'clock sharp, and then right after, it's Cubs 360, where we'll discuss some of the best players and best teams in all of baseball. You won't want to miss it. Stick around.
Great. All right, let's do best of. We'll do best of.
All right, I'm good. I'm rolling.
Where is that? Did you send that to me? That's why. Okay, so then just send it to me. We'll do it after. Okay, cool. You know where. All right, whenever you're ready, Cole.
All right.
Here we go. Or you just count yourself in for these.
Count them in. You got it. In 3, 2, 1. Hey there, the time has arrived. That's right. This is the best of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. And as always, I'm Cole Wright back again for more. Now, coming up this week, we know it was coming up this week. Start my time.
Oh, you are.
In 3, 2, 1. Hey, sound the horn. It is time for the best of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. And as always, I'm Cole Wright. Now, on this show, we're going to relive all the greatness that was the week prior. We're going to have, God, dog it, man.
All good. Whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Hey there. Time now for the best of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. I'm Cole Wright at your service. And this week, well, it was terrific as usual. And if you didn't get a chance to catch the show, that's what we're here for. We're going to get you up to speed on all things Cubs and all of our awesome guests we had this week. We had Brent Musburger. He stopped by, Ian Happ, Jay Adonde, and former Cubs catcher Michael Barrett. And as we talk about Ian Happ, 2020, Well, it looks to be a breakout season for him. We know that he started 2019 in the minors. He finished the season strong, and he had an extra strong. Oh my God.
It's all good. Take your
Don't want to
time.
get redundant, man. I just don't want to get redundant. I'm saying the same shit over again. It sounds terrible.
Yeah. Just take your time. It's 2:40. We're in good shape. No rush.
No, we should. I mean, these should be one takes, all of them, and done. There's no excuse for that. Just when you tape stuff and you say the same thing twice, it's like it just sounds shitty.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and I'll tell you if when it becomes redundant. So
yeah, no, I just.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, just whenever you're ready.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. There you are. It's time now for the Best of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. I'm Cole Wright, back again, leading you all the way home. Now, this week, it was a good one, and we're going to help you relive all the moments that you may have missed. We're going to talk with Ian Happ, Brett Musburger. Oh, my God. I need to stretch. I need to stand up. What is going on?
Take your time.
Oh, God. This is pathetic.
Dusold background looks great.
Oh, if only the person that was in the foreground could get it together. Jesus. Oh. All right. Let's count them in.